Not again! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to John Dudley Speaks. I'm your host, The Vision. Philadelphia rapper Lil Uzi Vert is easily one of the most influential artists of the last decade. Their early work in the SoundCloud era is genre-defining, to say the least, with Love Is Rage and Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World still existing today as landmark releases for mumble rap and modern trap. 2017's Love Is Rage 2, preceded by their show-stopping feature on Migos' Bad and Bougie, and the show-stopping hit of EXO Tour Life, turned out to be an all-hands-on-deck effort, featuring immaculate production from the likes of Metro Boomin, Pharrell, TM88, Wonder Girl, and Pierre Bourne. A few years of delays plagued the next studio effort, Atake, and its deluxe version, which finally came in 2020, and it's actually a pretty solid double record. As time has passed, its influence has reared its head on emo rap, with its forward-thinking atmosphere and oddball approach to writing, now found in everyone's catalog from Playboi Carti to Travis Scott. Another long delay followed for Uzi's next project, the highly anticipated Pink Tape, and that finally released last year to a ton of mixed feelings, due to its controversial amalgamation of genre hybrids, championing rage as much as it does punk and metal. Personally, I think it's an intriguing, if not imperfect, piece of art that keeps on elevating in status the more I listen to it, and that's in spite of its obvious missteps and nearly unlistenable tracks. I mean, the Chop Suey cover might suck, but it might also be awesome because of that. So going into Eternal Take 2, which was an exciting surprise announcement, I was expecting more of the same in a good way, maybe even with a chance of seeing Uzi refine their vision from the last outing. And honestly, what we get instead is a sewn-together throwback of sorts, but with far less ambition on display, leading to another incredibly disjointed and overall rough listen. Brandon Finessin and Cashmere Cat handle the primary production across these 16 tracks, and a lot of this work is just so run-of-the-mill and basic at best. We Good kicks off the record with nice contributions from Wonder Girl, but overall this is a song that we've heard from Uzi before over and over, being driven forward by the booming trap drums and the soaked in reverb synths. Yesteryear Practice offers us something a little glitzier and more ornate despite its underground nature, but the success here I think gives Finessin and Cashmere Cat the wrong impression, because they overuse this style of beat in an abusive fashion from here on out. Meteor Man is absolute garbage, Pars and the Mars is nearly unlistenable in an instrumental sense due to its incomprehensible, blown out mixing, and The Rush is fine from a musical perspective, but again, we've heard Uzi on these beats before, and this is just not nearly as compelling or innovative. The low-key vibes of Chill Bay are a nice change of pace, despite that the entire instrumental feels indebted to 2018 Drake. And Black Hole adopts a 2018 to 1975 aesthetic that actually shows that there's aspects of this record that could have been refined and retuned. However, when the atmosphere is a lot more accustomed for tracks like Perky Sex to fit into the mix, there really isn't a chance for these instrumentals to do something all that new or exciting. Hands down, the writing on this record is absolutely atrocious, and I'm surprised any of it was greenlit. Only a handful of these songs actually sound like they were finished from an arrangement and songwriting perspective. And the thing is, those can sound marvelous at times. We Good is vintage Uzi, Black Hole is probably my favorite song here, and Chill Bay is a solid pop track that has a simmering laid-back vibe, and Yesteryear Practice is a total banger. Yet everything else, it kinda sucks. Meteor Man has a hook where Uzi just bellows "This is an aura" over and over again, and it plays like a reference track. Pars and the Mars is terrible, evoking Plutowski-level non-lyricism that's hard to get through. And The Rush, just again, is a garbage hook that uninterestingly repeats itself over and over. I didn't need a track like Perky Sex or Lift 'Em Up. And Chips and Dip kinda slaps, and admittedly the writing is progressively better than a lot of the slop that's around it, but it's nothing new, it's nothing refreshing. It doesn't even take a risk, and given that Uzi said that this is trying to adopt a 2018-2019 feel, I'm upset that they think that's a good thing. Fans didn't love that material because of what it sounded like specifically. They loved it because of the ingenious perspective and sprawling ideas that were on display. So the songwriting could have indulged in that mindset rather than indulging in the result of years ago, and still could have captured that same feeling. Uzi really delivered this like it was a set of demos. The big three on this record, Meteor Man, Pars and the Mars, and The Rush, undo all the mild goodwill that we got on We Good and Yesteryear Practice, all because of nonsensical choruses and lazy flows. Also, what the hell is up with Uzi's completely offbeat flows that have them out of the pocket on nearly half of the tracks here? These are the kind of things that bothered me with Vultures too, and here it's more so because there's genuinely amazing material trapped on this record. Black Hole reminded me of 2017 Uzi, but back then there was an emotional or organic heart to the center of that music. And here that heart basically feels empty. So yeah, I wish that some more time would have been spent on this record so Uzi could have honed in on what made tracks like that work in the past, instead of rushing, misguided, sloppy stream bait. At 16 tracks and 43 minutes, this is a really rough listen at times, and honestly, I don't think it holds any significant replay value. Not that that's the main indicator of a good album, but most of Uzi's work is defined by its ability to stir the masses year after year. Why else do people label EXO Tour Life a classic? Because it connected, it was innovative, and it was also a banger. Eternal Atake 2 kind of flies in the face of that with its forgettable tracks that fail to understand the appeal of 2016 to 2019 Uzi. So we're left with a tediously bumpy nostalgia trip.
Please don't do the most right now. If I hit you up, please don't go ghost right now. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me, baby. Don't do it to me. Do it to me. Please don't do the most right now. If I hit you up, please don't go ghost right now.
Move on from
Eternal Atake 2 is easily my least favorite Uzi project to date, as I think it lacks the character and experimentation of Pink Tape and the immediacy and strong execution of their early work. It's just disappointing that after so many years in the limelight, Uzi can't figure out how to self-edit and focus on a concept rather than indulging in it, and it makes their splashes of genius get constantly drowned out by interminable slop. But hey, that's just my perspective. If you're an Uzi fan, there's a couple gems here, but nothing nearly as spectacular as his classics or as shocking as the Pink Tape. Alright, that's all I got. Bye!